For performances number 4, titled Polynomial Farmville, our objective is to solve problems involving polynomials and polynomial equations. Here is the given situation. Farmer Bob wants to plant his farm this spring. He wants to plant string beans, kamote, corn, eggplant, and okra. His plan for the field layout is shown in the figure below. Use the figure and your knowledge of polynomials, perimeter, and area to solve the following. For number 1, given the area of the squash field, express its area in its factored form. So, step 1, you have to find first where does the squash field located. So, ito yung squash field natin. This is the squash field. Okay? Ang squash field natin, meron siyang x cubed minus x squared minus 30x plus 72. So, you have to express this into its factored form. Okay, for your reference, you may use week 8 video lesson na sinend ko sa ating GC. Okay, now paano ang process niya? Number 1, gamit ka ng rational root theorem. Rational root theorem, kunin mo yung factors of the constant term. Saglit, adjust natin. So, you have to get the factors of the constant term, which is 72. So, okay. Kung 72 ito, ano ang factors ng 72? Lista mo dyan. Positive, negative 1, positive, negative 2, and so on. So, pagkakuha mo dyan, gamitin mo na yung synthetic division. Okay? Synthetic division. Pagka-synthetic division mo, mag-trial ka na. Trial 1, and trial 1, trial 2, and so on. And so on. Pag nakuha mo na yung first depressed, okay, dapat dito meron kang first depressed equation. First depressed equation. So, pag nakuha mo na yung first depressed equation mo, i-factor mo yun. So, factor out. Pagka-factor out mo, yung sagot mo dito sa synthetic, pagsamahin mo, ito na yung sagot mo sa factor. Pagsamahin mo yung tatlo, so A is equal to, ito na yung factored form nung number 1. Okay? For number 2, express the total area of the okra and string beans field. So, hahanapin mo dyan nasa ng okra at nasa ng string beans. Okay? So, the area of the okra is 20x squared. Ayan. So, okra, for the okra, we have 20x squared plus 8x. And as for the string beans, ang kanyang length, one of its length is 5x plus 2. Ito yung okra and then string beans. For string beans, one of its side is 5x plus 2. And the width is x. Okay? Now, step 1, you have to first find the area of string beans. Okay? So, that is area is equal to length times width. Length is 5x plus 2, width is x. So, pag nakuha mo na yung sagot, you have to get the total area. Okay? So, step 2, add area of okra and the area of string beans. So, add mo yon to get the total area. So, ganun lang yung number 2. For number 3, give an expression to show the total perimeter of the farm. Tanggalin na natin itong factored form kasi medyo komplikado ang kanyang factored form para hindi na masyadong madami yung ating hahanapin. So, this is how we will going to show the total perimeter of the farm. Okay, so let's begin with the formula in finding the perimeter. Since the whole farm is in rectangular shape, that means to find the perimeter of that or the layout of the farm, that is equal to twice the length plus twice the width. But this expression can also be expressed in the form length plus width plus width. Okay? In our given layout, there are still some missing uh, missing lengths. Okay? Let's begin with the upper side of the whole layout of the farm from here to here. So from the corner of the okra to the corner of the squash. Okay? Now, from okra going to the edge of the eggplant is missing. So this part is missing. Okay? And then from the eggplant going to the edge of the squash, let me change my pen. Okay? This is x squared minus 9. Okay? That is x squared minus 9. Now next, for the squash from here to the edge of the squash, that is also missing. Okay? Now let's take this as length number 1. Okay? For length number 2, for the string beans, from the edge of the string beans to the edge going to the eggplant, that is x. Okay? Next, from the eggplant going to the edge of the kamote field, that is 6x. And from the kamote, or should I say from the edge of the eggplant going to the edge of the kamote, that is missing. Okay? Now let's express this whole side as length number 2. Okay? Now how can we get for length number 1? For you to get length number 1, you have to add the length of this, the length of the okra, plus the length of the eggplant field, plus the length of the squash field. Okay? So you have to add those to get the first length. To find for the second length, add for the side of the string beans plus the side of the eggplant field plus the side of the kamote field for you to find length number 2. And then simplify them by adding the 2. Okay? Now next, for the width, say this is width number 2. Should I say width number 1? This is width number 2. Okay. Now, from the edge of the string beans going here, going to the edge of the okra, that is 5x plus 2. So, this is 5x plus 2, this side here. Okay. Next, from the edge of the string beans going to the edge of the okra, this is now missing, which is the side of the okra. So how can you get for the first width? Add this side to 5x plus 2. Okay? Now next, for width number 2, from the edge of the squash, going to the edge of kamote, so this field here is missing, which represent the side for squash field. And from this side, from the edge of the kamote to the edge here, this side is also missing, which represents one of the sides of the kamote. Okay, so for you to get the total sides of the width, you just simply add the missing here for to 5x plus 2 and then the 2 missings. Now question, paano mo makukuha yung mga missing na yan? Example ko yung okra. You will do squash and kamote. Okay, for the okra, so here's the okra. The area of the okra is 20x squared plus 8x. So how can I get the sides? By simplifying this or by factoring this. So you have to factor 20x squared plus 8x. Now the common between 20 and 8 is 4. They are both divisible by 4. So we have 4 and then x squared divided by x, that is x. 20 divided by 4, that is 5. X squared divided by x is x. And 8x divided by 4x is 2. Okay? So, that means 4x is the smaller side. This is the smaller side. Smaller side. And 5x plus 2 is the larger side. Larger side. Okay? Again, 4x is the smaller side. 5x plus 2 is the larger side. So, ibig sabihin, this is 4x. And this is 5x plus 2. Okay. Now, papaano mo naman mahahanap itong dito? Simple lang, kunin mo yung factored form nitong x cube. Kunin mo ang factored form niyan. Okay? Yung isa dyan, one of this, dito siya. And then, yung dalawa, i-multiply mo dito siya. So, yung dalawa nandito, yung isa nandoon. Okay? Now, for x raised to 4, same process. Okay? Okay. Yung dalawa nandito. So, dito yung dalawa. And then, dito yung dalawa. Okay. Now, the last step will be finding the perimeter of the whole farm. For you to find the perimeter of the whole farm, since this is length 1, so length number 1 plus, this is length number 2, length number 2 plus, this is width number 1 plus width number 2. Okay? So, that's how you will show the perimeter of the whole farm. Remember that you have to express your answer into its simplest form. So, for number 4 naman, sabi niya, when his okra plants will grow in a certain height and the volume of the field is expressed in 20x cubed. Correction, this is 68x squared. Again, this is 60x squared. When his okra plants will grow in a certain height and the volume of the field is expressed in 20x cubed plus 68x squared plus 24x, find the height of the okra plots. Okay? So, for the okra plots, we have, sabi niya, the volume is 20x cubed plus 68, correction, that is x squared plus 24x. Plus 24x. So, paano mo kukunin yung height? So, technically, volume of a rectangular object is equal to length times width times height. Okay? So, V is equal to length times width times height. That means length times width is equal to area. Okay? So, if area is equal to length times width, so technically, the volume now is equal to the area multiplied by the height. Okay? Now, for you to get the height, you have to divide both sides by the area. Okay? Therefore, the height now is equal to the volume, which is 20x cubed plus 68x squared plus 24x, divided by the area. The area is equal to 20x squared plus 8x. Okay? And then, divide mo na yon, and then that's the answer for number 4. For number 5, what is the total area of kamote and squash fields? Show your answer in factored form. Wag na factored form. Medyo komplikado din yung factored form niya. So, you're just looking for the total area. Therefore, you're just simply going to add the area of the squash. So, this is the area of the squash field. Add mo lang siya sa area ng kamote. So, x cubed minus x squared minus 30x plus 72 plus x raised to 4 minus 13x squared plus 36. And then, simplify your answer. Yun na yung sagot. So, that's it for performance task number 4.